Hi. I just wanted to kind of go over with you how to do the reading assignment today. So, when you open up your slides, you've got an inference graphic organizer. Remember, an inference is when you can figure out what's happening in the story without the author coming directly out and telling you. Okay. So, we'll do this one together. Um, you can also access the book through that text, through that link, and I'll show that to you. So it says page 85, there was a smell of rot in the shelter. Brian thinks the smell is alive. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this link. Now, when I say that it's page 85, I don't mean according to the bottom of the page here. I'll show this to you here. Like, I don't mean like that. I mean 85 according to this. It's not letting me do that. I'm going to have to scroll down. That's okay. Anyway, I mean 85 according to this part, okay? Not the number on the bottom of the page, all right? This part where it says page 85 of 202. So let's read this part, chapter 8. At first he thought it was a growl in the still darkness of the shelter. In the middle of the night, his eyes came open and he was awake. And he thought there was a growl, but it was the wind. A medium wind in the pines had made some sound that brought him awake. He sat up and was hit with the smell. It terrified him. The smell was one of rot, some musty rot that made him think only of graves with cobwebs and dust and old death. His nostrils widened and he opened his eyes wider, but he could see nothing. It was too dark, too hard with clouds covering even the small light from the stars, and he could not see. But the smell was alive. So, right here it says there was a smell of rot in the shelter. Brian thinks the smell is alive. That came directly from the text, okay? So now I'm going to think about what I know about the smell of rot, okay? I know that skunks live in the woods and they smell. I know that dead animals smell. I know that food that has gone bad can smell. So over here, I would type in what I think all this means. So Brian said there was a smell of rot in the shelter. Brian thinks the smell is alive. Well, I kind of feel like that if it's something that was a smell that was really bad that woke him up, then that must be a really strong smell. And according to my schema, the only thing I can think of that's a really strong smell is like a skunk. So I'm going to say I infer that a skunk has gotten into Brian's shelter and sprayed. That is what I infer or what I think is happening without the author telling me, okay? So if you look at slide 2, it's going to ask you to go to page 86. So you'll scroll down. Okay, which is right here. Okay. And I'm going to read this page. Again, I'm looking at 86 up here, not on the page. Okay, 86 up here. I'm going to read the page. Okay. Now, I have already given you the clues to look at. Again, you're going to think about your schema of what you know about those things, and then you're going to say, I infer, and tell me what you think is happening. On section 3, it says continue to read through 88. So on section 3, again, this is 86. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to read all the way to the bottom of 88. Okay? So this time it's backwards. I give you an inference, which is Brian feels like he should give up. What I want you to do is through those pages, I want you to find some clues that prove to you or show you as evidence that Brian feels like he should give up. Then I want you to tell me your schema. When was the time that you felt like you should give up? At your exit ticket, you're going to finish chapter 8. Okay, which if you keep scrolling, it ends right there on 93. And you are going to do the final one. And again, here I give you an inference. You're going to look through the rest of the pages that you read, and you're going to tell me the page number you found it on. You're going to give me some clues that support this inference. And you're going to tell me any kind of schema or connection you have to those. Now, if you're looking for something extra to do, you can give me a summary using one of these 2 strategies on chapter 8. You do not have to, but you can if you choose to. I hope this helps.